So today we are going to be doing custom trays. So here is a maxillary and here is a mandibular custom tray. And what is a custom tray used for? Can anybody? Final impressions? Yes, for what? Dentures or crown and bridge or whatever. Okay, great. So instead of using a stock tray, metal stock tray, we'll use a custom tray to do that. So here's just one that I had made last week, and this is one that I'll pass it around that you can have a look at. Okay, so here we have our model. We'll be using our pedo models, and you can see on this model I've got some bubbles on there. So that's okay. We're just going to cover the bubbles with some wax. We're just going to soften our wax in the warm bath here, or hot bath. So I'm just going to take a little piece of wax and I'm going to place it on my bubble that's on my teeth. So if there are spaces, any sort of missing teeth, you'll also put some wax in there to cover those spaces. Okay, so once you have that, now I can go ahead and cover my whole model with my base plate wax here. And it's good to have your wax nice and soft so that it adheres to your model easily. And then we're going to take our lab knife and we are going to cut out right in the vestibular area. Now notice this is a maxillary model. Now if I'm going to cut out the wax for mandibular model, what are we going to do for the mandibular model area?
Give us test.
Yes, we will cut out the space for the tongue. So you just take your knife and go all the way around. All right, and there we go. Okay, I'll just show you here. See how the wax is covered right up into this vestibular area. Okay, so now we want to put some stops on here, and they're basically just holes, so 2 in the posterior area. And what these stops do is prevent the tray from seating too far up onto the palate or the mandibular area also. So 1 in the anterior and 1 each in the posterior. Okay. So we have those stops. Now we're going to place some model releasing agent on here. Basically it looks like Vaseline. So just take your finger and a very thin coat rubbed around all of the wax area. Once that is all covered, now you're ready to put your custom tray material on there. And here it is in the box, and notice it's in a black box. So what do you think that means?
Sensitive.
Light sensitive, absolutely. So once you take your sheet out, there are preformed sheets. Make sure you cover the lid straight away. Okay, so here's our preformed sheet. Cover the box.
Why are they sensitive to it?
It's light cured.
Oh, okay.
That means it's gonna start setting on you. As soon as it's exposed to light, it's going to start setting on you. So a preformed sheet, again, we're going to cover the exact area of the wax with your custom tray material using very light pressure. If you use too much pressure, you're going to see it's going to be almost clear there. So we don't want that because that's going to make the tray weak. So with your knife, you're going to just gently cut out the area where you have your wax. And of course you're going to accommodate for the frenums. And you don't have to do it super perfectly, but the more that you can remove with your lab knife, the less you have to trim away afterwards, because don't forget, this has to be a tray That's going to go into their mouth, and it needs to be relatively smooth because you can't have too many rough spots. Okay, so what is my tray missing now?
Handle.
All right, so we need to make a handle with our remaining material. Just take some, roll it into a ball, and then just kind of shape it into like a handle. Like so. And where am I going to put the handle?
Right below the
Anterior, not posterior, but anterior, right? Right where the anterior teeth are.
Is there one for the mandibular that could be shown for us?
It's basically the same idea as this, but you're just going to have to cut out the area where the tongue is.
It's gonna look like this.
Okay, and it's going to look just like that.
All right.
Okay, we can pass that around.
Will we be making two?
All right, so now we want to cure this into our triad curing system. It looks like an easy bake oven. So I'm just going to turn it on. So there's like a red light that you'll see and the turntable. All right, so we want to separate our tray from the wax, otherwise the wax will melt. So we're going to place it in the triad system for about 30 seconds, just so the wax gets soft again, and then we can separate the tray from the wax. Use your lab knife again to kind of just pop your tray off, and then you can remove the wax. About 30 seconds. And then put your tray back on, place it back inside. And it's already set on a pre-timer for 2 minutes, and it'll automatically go off once it is complete. So now once it comes out, it's going to look like this. Okay? And you'll see that there's still some rough areas on here, so we want to trim this off to make it nice and smooth. So what we're going to use is the lathe. So you want to gather around here. The lathe has these arbor bands that you can use. So I'm just going to place it on low. I'm also going to remove my gloves because I don't want my gloves to get wrapped up in that spinning lathe there. So I'm going to remove my gloves. I'm just going to place it on low. I'm going to wear safety glasses. And you just gently go around all the edges of your tray and just make them all smooth.